Hello. Can everybody hear me okay? Hi. I'll give you a second for the delay to start. It's funny. I was sitting here, I was like waiting for everybody to respond, but I guess you can't. Oh, can I tell you, it's that kind of a day. So this morning I got up at 8 o'clock sharp, which is pretty early for me. I'm one of those people who goes to bed pretty late. I have to wait till I'm really tired because otherwise I just lay there. So anyway, I woke up and I washed my hair. I try to only wash my hair once a week. I've trained it over time to only need to get washed once a week. And I'm not even kidding. I have the thickest hair, but it stays really clean for a week. It took me about 6 months to get it that way, though. Anyway, so I normally wash on Wednesdays. Well, I washed today because I had my job interview. So I did my hair and I put on makeup. I never put on makeup. I know I'm whining, aren't I? As I sit here and play like fiddle, and I put on the makeup, I got dressed in a nice outfit, I got in the car, I had my flip-flops on, and I had my other shoes with me because, goodness gracious, I don't want to wear pumps too long because I have bad knees and they hurt my legs. But anyway, so I put them in the car. I get there, I park, I wait like 15 minutes because I was really, really early. And I finally put on my face mask, put on my shoe, changed my shoes, got out of the car, walked to the door, and it was a nursing home, okay, or a senior living center. And what did the lady say? The lady was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I tried to call you, but we have to do a phone interview." And I was like, okay, no problem. And I was really happy for the mask at that point because she could only read my eyes. And so she said, "Can you just do a phone interview? We could keep the time the same." I'm like, "Oh, okay, so you mean go to my car?" And, yeah, okay. So then I went to my car, turned on the air conditioning. It's a little warm here today. And I did did it as a phone interview. So I've spent 2 hours getting ready this morning for nothing. But I guess maybe, just maybe, the other interviews that she has will be that she won't be able to see them. So maybe by seeing me, that's a good thing. Maybe it'll give me a leg up. I think it went pretty well. I really could probably do, that any of the jobs there. It's receptionist work, and I've done that before, and it's kind of nice, and you just don't have to think about it too much and stuff like that. Anyway, so there's my story for today, and so that's how my day's going, and I'm just kind of like, now I'm sort of tired, and you know how it goes. But anyway, so isn't this pretty? This is the Lawn Fawn Watercolor Wonder 12 by 12 paper in blue. And what I always do is I always buy a whole package of blue and a whole package of green. So I have it on hand all the time because you know what? You always need a sky and water and grass. And this is a sky or water and the other one's grass. So today, a car interview. Yeah, exactly. I sat in the car and she was inside. I hope so. Laquita, thank you so much. I haven't, my biggest issue is all the jobs I had were pre-1996. And most of the businesses are out of business. So they can't even, there's nobody they can talk to for references. You know what I mean? And so I told them to look at my Perky Penny Papers Facebook page because I have a 5-star rating from teaching people in my store and everything. Maybe that'll help. I don't know. We'll see. Knock on wood. Knock on wood. Then I'd have a job. And I'm like, ooh, I don't know what to do with that. Oh, anyway, so I was showing you this really pretty paper. And what's cool is it has this side, which is kind of like what I like to call the smooth water, cloudy sky side. Or this side, which is the rough seas, yucky day kind of side. So, yeah, it's kind of nice. And I think, let's see. I was going to look to see how they sell it. Let's see. Lawn fawn. Let's see. Sorry. Watercolor Winder. I can't type. Oh, Katie, you're biased. You're my sister. Watercolor. You know, I always forget watercolor is 2 words. Because I always say it at the same time, right? Watercolor. Oh, maybe it's not. Oh, Watercolor Wishes. Maybe that's what it... I guess I could look down here. Yeah, Watercolor Wishes. Oops. It's at the bottom of the paper. And watercolor is 1 word. I was right. Oh, you see what I mean? This is the day. Oh, let's see. Okay, so here, see, you can get 12 sheets at a time, and they're 88 cents a sheet, so it's $10.56 to get 12 sheets, and that's how I buy it, just all wrapped. So I just really think that if you like to do things like I do, then those are a must. Those are a must-have. Must. Oh, I like the purple. Wait. I just saw the purple on the replay. It's so pretty. Okay, so today I kind of started cutting and doing a little bit of work. This is going to be, okay, I was thinking about it, and I'm like, whoever wants to play along, feel free. I'll give you a little time. If you tell me you're going to play along, then I'll give you a little time, because here what you can learn is how to make a simple pop-up card, okay? So what you're going to need, I'm going to tell you real quick, is you're going to want a piece of cardstock that it's 6 by 12. So get a piece of like a 12 by 12 and cut it in half. Like you're going to want it to be this size, and then score it in half down the middle so you have a 6 by 6 card base. Okay, so please tell me if you are going to play along, and that way I know to give a little bit of time for those kind of things. And you're not going to have to build the whole card. It's just I'm going to give you some pointers for like the basic, because it's kind of like a basic mechanism. And once you learn that mechanism, you can translate it to many different things. Okay? So that's what you need the paper for. So you're going to need that the 6 by 6 card base folded. And then just some scrap, like 6 by 6 paper, just some paper that, it doesn't even have to be 6 by 6, just some paper. It'd be preferable that it's a square or a rectangle or something. I'm not getting any response, but then you could be going to get the paper and such. We're going to be working with these V-folds, is what we're going to be doing. I want you to be able to make one for yourself if you can. While I'm making this one. I made one of them already, one of the elements. Okay. I don't know. Carol, you're going to make me blush. And now, I know you won't see me, but I'll feel it. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, I'm not kidding, but Okay. So, if you've had plenty of time to get that 6 by 6 paper. So, and just set that aside. And when we're getting to this part, you know, I'll tell you. Or if you want to just start playing along, just start playing along. So anyway, I've got this piece here, and this is, okay, there's a mountain die set, and this is one of the dies. Oh, should I just have there's 2 dies. I put the other one away because I didn't want to mix them up. And this is one of them, and this is the other one. And they just give a little bit different perspective mountain-wise. Like some are shorter and some are longer, and they kind of just work together, right? And then, oh, and the die set also comes with this, which is super cute. We don't need it for today because, well, I guess we could use it for today if we wanted to, but it's little mountaintops, you know? So we're doing green mountains, which I'm a little unsure of. After I did it, I was like, do I want to do green mountains? Maybe I want to do brown mountains, because then I could do, oh, wait a minute. I could do a row of green mountains. Hey, Shelly. Did you get my email back, Shelly? I totally remember that comment, and I'm really happy that this seems like that. And Shelly just wanted to come play in my craft room, and she was saying how this is like playing in my craft room. And it is. Except you don't have to clean up the mess or see the mess. Because trust me when I tell you, it's a mess. Like beyond this area right here. It's so funny. Anyway, yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to do a brown mountain behind the green mountain. You know? I had this one already cut, but we can use that later. Let's see. Then we can put some, like a little volcano top on it or something. That would be fun, wouldn't it? Let me see here. Does this look brown enough? Oh, I need it. Oh, there's brown. Oh, come on. The brown's in the middle. Okay. Here's the brown. I was thinking it needed, I'm doing this island. It's going to be like an island card. And I was like, I need to have a volcano because all the islands have volcanoes, don't they? Anyway, so let me get this cut. I'm cutting the back mountain. It could be, okay, so let me show you, I'll cheat and I'll show you my little mock-up that I practiced with here. This was 4.5 inches, and I cut the mountain at the very top, and then I made 1 inch, so that's about 3.5 inches. But I could do I think I'm going to do a 1/2 inch, so it'll be it'll be 1/2 inch taller. And that, well, let's take this one off. I was looking at the different ways it goes. So this, if you look, will fold inside. So I actually could do a mountain that is much taller than this, you know? And that's, I could, actually, maybe that's what we need to do. Let's do it. Let's go big. So I'm going to put this away. I guess I'm making another card later. So let me go big here. Because we can always cut it shorter if we want to, you know? So now we've got a really big piece. And this is the same length. So what we're going to do is, and so anyway, anything that we put in here, in this area, as long as, depending on the height, you know, if it's closer, you have to have it shorter because it has to fold down and fit in that area. But as you can see, you've got a lot of space to work with there, you know? So that's what we're going to do today. And you can actually go further where you can, I've seen them, I've been studying pop-ups where they open up the card and it goes up about 2 feet, like literally in the side of a small space. So I'm working on it. I'm not 100% there yet, but I'm learning that kind of stuff because I just enjoy it. So anyway, what I'm going to do with the die, because we have to get it all the way across here and it's a short die. So I'm going to start it over here and go at the very top because I want to have maximum use of this space right here, right? And I am going to put this section in my plate on my cutting mat and run that through. Put this way. Now, what we're gonna do next, I hope you can see this well, is I'm just gonna line this up, this very corner up with the end of this mountain right here. And I'm gonna go straight. Now, you can make it different, so just by doing things like this, just by moving it that way, but I wanna make it straight. I'm making it just straight to not fuss with it, you know. And I will tell you, this is definitely a two-parter because just making the base is going to take a little time. We'll see how it goes time-wise, but I imagine it might take a little time. But then maybe it'll be really fast. Who knows? Oh, I've used this die before. I've made a couple of different cards with manatees and I did a Christmas one with a narwhal. I actually also have another, like a more jagged mountain die like this that's from one of the Hero Arts monthly kits from a few years back for the Christmas one. I love them. I don't like it when things like this happen. Let me just round this a little bit more. Okay. So there we have our mountain. And then we have our tropical area, right? And then we have our water. Okay, so now, let me look at this here real quick. That's super cute. That's really cute, actually. Okay. Then I'm going to do the same thing, but with not with this one. This is going to go on the bottom of the card for the water. And then these are going to be the waves. You got to have as much dimension as possible. This is my, why would it be fun if it wasn't any work, right? Okay, let's see here. Now for this one, there's 3 wave dies. And let me move this away. Or maybe it's kind of nice to be able to see what I'm doing. Anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing. We're going to, at the very top, put one of the waves a couple of different times. And so we'll do all 3 waves. And they kind of all work together, as you saw the other day on that other card I was doing. Let's see here. We need some tape. Actually, let me see here. You know what I can do is I can do this one here. And oh, these strips are 2 inches by 12 inches. So I just cut a 6 by 12 inch piece and then 3 2-inch by 12 inch pieces. And it worked perfect. Let's see. I can do a couple. I don't have to just do one. So I watched a movie last night that I had never seen. And it was called Infinity. What is it? I think it's called like the Avengers Infinity Wars. I've never seen an Avengers movie. And although I guess maybe I have. I don't know. Maybe I have because I'd seen those ones with Chris Pratt. And I'm not much into superheroes, you know, but I thought that one was more like you're making fun of superheroes. Anyway, so my son's a huge fan, and it's like Apparently, it was the year anniversary since Endgame came out, and apparently that was a really big movie. Who who knew? Anyway, and so I apparently I guess there's a bunch of other movies that I need to see to have reference. My son was like, I can't believe you don't know these things. How can you not know who Ant-Man is? I don't know, but I do know that I do know a lot of I said I do know things, believe me. You know how it goes. It was funny. Anyway, we had fun. It was nice because we got our son to sit there for 2 hours with us. Woohoo! Win! He's 23. You know how it is. Let's see. That worked pretty well. Getting all 3 done at the same time. Now, if you don't have these dies, don't fear. Don't fret. Because you can just use the scissors and make your own waves, you know? Just because you don't have the die doesn't mean you can't make a similar card. Really. Most of the things card makers do on the YouTube channels can be done without the equipment. Now, granted, different people have different desires for their crafting, you know what I mean? So I happen to like gadgets and doohickeys, so this is my wheelhouse, just being able to play with tools and stuff. I really enjoy that. But maybe you don't. Maybe you just want to be able to cut it out with a pair of scissors and learn English all at once. But yeah. Let us see. And Laquita, I believe that with your kids, this would be so much fun. Actually, I have another YouTube channel, and this guy's doing like art classes while school's out, you know, while kids aren't in school. And he's the same man who does the pop-up books for like Disney and he does all the Star Wars ones, and my die didn't cut through all the way. That's what happens when you try to... Oh, I'll just do that later. I'll just cut it. The line is cut. It's just not all the way through. So it just takes a little bit to... You got to just encourage it with your scissors. You know? Okay. Let's see. I'm going to do that way. Maybe... Maybe somehow I need to get them all in the middle, because then it'll be easier for them to cut through. See how I'm doing this? Oh, I know what I did. I didn't... I should have done this at first. Oh, you know how it is. You learn. Cord's in the way over there. I need to fix that. Okay. See, now we have our cute little waves. Oh, the allergies here. I don't know about you guys, but whew. So my poor son, he was outside doing the lawn yesterday, or cleaning up in the backyard, I guess. That's what it was, but not that matters to you. But anyway, he came in and he was sneezing up a storm. Okay, see? I just have to kind of give it a little pull. Okay. cut this area here. See, sometimes you just put the scissors there and it just cuts, you know. I didn't put this in an area where it would get cut. That was my fault. Okay. Might have been loud. And then, see, they kind of all line up with each other. They all make the waves. See? Okay. Now that we've got that cut, we're going to just work on this basic. So what we're going to do is we'll start with our brown mountains, and we're going to put it in the scoreboard like so. I'm going to, well, let me see here. I'll show you guys. Okay. And I'm going to score this, to be exact, is where I'm starting. We'll see how it goes. You want it to be at least 1/2 inch. And as you can see on this one, I had it at 1 inch and I trimmed it. And you could just trim it. If it's too thick, you could just trim it too. So it's very flexible. Then I'm going to take it and I'm going to score in the center at 6 inches. Okay. And I'm going to do that for each of these. I'm going to score this. Now these ones, I'm looking at it and I kind of think 1 inch. Let me see here. Yeah, I think 1 inch will be fine. And you could do each one a different one. Like I could do one of them 1 inch and one of them 7/8 of an inch and one of them 1/8 inch and 1/8. You know, just to put them a little bit different from each other. So I'm going to do that. So I'm just crossing it, basically making a cross in it. So this one, again, I'm going to do the same thing. Doing it at 1 inch and 6 inches. And this is where I should tell you, so the essence of this V-fold is putting a score line where you want to fold it, and everything to one side is going to stand up and be part of the card, and the rest is going to be a place where you can make a tab to be able to secure it down onto your card. And then you're going to divide it in, you're going to score it. Now in my case, I'm doing it in the center. So wherever you want it to bend in the center of the card is where you would score it. Okay, so because you don't have to do it exactly, you could do it there and then have a different, you could even crisscross, and I could show you things like that later where it's not exactly everything in the middle of this. It is in the middle, but like if you did a little bit over to one side, for example, you could do, I don't know, I can't think of what it would be. A whale or something, you know, that's just on one side. Anyway, so now that we have those, so basically everything has this T. Can you see the T in it? Yeah. Okay, now you're going to take the pieces and you're going to fold your score lines like so. And I'll just get out my handy dandy bone folder. And then you want your creases to be real firm, real tight, you know, real straight. And then we're going to do that in the center as well. Then what we're going to do is this bottom part here that's going to be the area that's secured. I'm going to, where I want my notches to be. I'm going to fold it in half and I'm going to cut a notch there and a notch there. And voila, we have notches. There we go. Okay, but I want this side to the front. So the other thing I was thinking with the inch is it kind of fills in space too. Oh, thank you. I know, I don't know why, but I lost like 3 subscribers yesterday. I guess it's gonna happen. I feel like if I lose them, they weren't my subscribers in the first place. You know how it goes. Or maybe you don't, but you can understand, I'm sure. You can empathize. Okay, so I'm gonna fold this one again. I'm gonna fold it this way. Use my bone folder. And then I'm gonna fold it this way. Use my bone folder. And then make my notches. Handy dandy. Everyone loves a good notch. Thanks, ladies. I appreciate you. Okay, so we got two of our little... Okay. Now I should have done this the other way, but that's okay. I'm one of those people. I like to work efficiently. Not really, but I like to at least think I work efficiently. How about that? Okay, so we're going to crease our line. And then we're going to make our notches. See how easy this is? And you could do this over and over again with different things and layer them up on your card and create a scene. I think it's funny when I say create a scene. Right. I mean, it's like, as I said, I just feel like I didn't have them in the... They probably weren't that interested. They probably were doing it to win a prize or something, you know. And that's sad, but it is what it is. Because I want to try to provide some kind of wonderful experience for people. Something to fill people's lives, you know, with joy. That's the word of the century almost, or the decade. Joy. Okay. So last but not least, we're going to do our mountains. Okay. There's something very satisfying about that. Okay, so now we have all of our layers, right? You see where we're going with this, right? And then we have the bottom of our water. This is going to be a little bit thicker because it's going to be a lot to fold. That's the one thing we need to think about. Gotta find a card base here. There we go. I knew I'd have one. I bought, I found 12 by 18 cardstock, like 100-pound cardstock, and then I cut it into 3 6 by 12s, or I had it cut, like I took it to the, what is it? Yeah, create a scene. You get it. Like, I'm gonna create a scene. You're so, no, anyway. No, what was I saying? So I can make 6 by 6 cards really. I love 6 by 6 cards. I don't know what it is, but I love them. So I have the card bases already made for them. So we're going to start by, and there's probably a couple different ways we can do this. I was thinking about it earlier. And we could probably do something where we, if we wanted to spend a lot of time at it and had nothing better to do. They're from Lawn Fawn. The dies are from Lawn Fawn. So anyway, what was I saying? If we had more, tons of time, we could, I don't even remember. So what we're going to start with is we're going to start with just placing this in here. And, I don't normally like to do this, but I'm going to use liquid glue, and we're going to hope it works and that I don't get it too thick, like right there. So what you try, if you're working with liquid glue, this is what I recommend. You put it down like this, and use it. This liquid glue is a very, very thin liquid glue, as you can see. So I'm going to fold it over on it. And I'm going to get my bone folder right away and press down the paper and the glue so it spreads out. And hopefully we don't get any little bubbles, you know. I'm going to go both directions. Oh, I can feel them in there too, you know. But if they're pushed down, we don't see them, then we're good. We are covering a bunch of this up, so that was one of the things I took into consideration about using the... I think we're going to be okay. Let's look. See, I think... Oh, let me see. Can you see? Well, there's nothing to see. It's all smooth. Anyway, okay. So then we're going to do the same on the other side. And I just don't sit around and wait for it to, like, let it dry at all, you know. Just do it real quick. Speed is important, I believe. Because if you let it start drying, it'll dry in that little pattern. And then you're done. Then the whole thing's, forget it. It's not happening. Okay. See, I can feel the bumps even when I'm doing this. Okay. Now I'm just trying to get there's like a bubble in the center because of the... Now, one of the things I thought about was that I could possibly cut it in half and put one side on one side and one side, and then not skip the center section, you know. But this is what I did, so this is what we're going to live with. And it opens and closes beautifully, actually. So, yay. Okay, now we're going to start. Let me see here. There's a little bit I want to trim off the bottom. I'm going to trim this up just a smidge before I start sticking everything. Oh, I'm sorry. That was probably loud. I didn't mean for it to be loud. See, when I said smidge, I meant smidge. Just a little teeny tiny bit. And the same here. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Let's move that out. Just get that taken care of. Maybe not so perfect. There we go. That's fine. Okay. So now we're going to start with our back mountain. Now the key is you don't want to have any of it showing once you close your card. And let me show you, I have my demo here. There's two different ways you can put this paper on here. One, you can put it where it's going, okay, how do we do this? This way, right? So let's say it's a V down, a right-sided V, it's the correct side, or you could do an upside down V like this, right? And let me show you the difference, okay? Why you do them the different ways, and I'm sure you can guess. One will fold this way, and one will fold this way. So in this instance, we can fold it up and put it in there, and nobody can tell the difference. Yeah, making it is a chore, but you know what? It's like, it's still fun. Oh, we're not ready. Yeah, the waves aren't going to be right next to each other at all. So anyway, thanks, Carol, for checking that out. So anyway, so yeah, that's why you would place them which way. So we're going to start. I don't think we're going to need this one, but we may. It just depends. I did like how it folded in over it, you know. That was cool. Okay, so we're going to start with our mountains. And we're going to put some adhesive on our mountains. There it is. We're going to use the tape runner. We're going to use the dotted tape. If I was not doing this for demonstration purposes, I would probably use my liquid glue as well. But being that I'm demonstrating it, and also I haven't done this before, that would be another reason to not use the liquid glue. See how it's really straight here? So I'm going to just give it a nice little trim. You know? Yeah. Sorry about, gosh, I'm a little self-conscious about that. Anyway, so all you have to do is you can't put it straight. Straight will not work. You have to bend it one way or the other. Okay? But you don't have to bend it very much. So in this circumstance, we're not going to. We're going to I'm just lining it up with the center of the card, the center score line. Like so. And I'm going to not push down very hard because I want to see, I don't know how far it's going to go. I don't know if it's going to all be, look at that. It's almost all covered up. Except for this area here and this area here. So this spot we don't need to worry about. We're good there. And so let's see then. What we will need to do though is we will want to draw a line where we are overhanging. And you can do a couple of different things. Number one, you could extend your card just a little bit. But let's see what happens if let's see how we can make it work. Let's see how we can make it work. I don't think this I know we can just cut off. This is not a big deal. This is just you trim it off like so. Actually, I'll just get my little paper trimmer here. Oh, straight edge. Better to do it on the straight edge. And we'll line it up here. Okay. Tidy that up a bit. Okay. Then what we're going to do, okay, so see I drew this line here, that's cool. And we're going to just trim that up I'm just going to slightly curve it here. And then okay. And then we'll do the other side separately. Okay. Let's see here. And we'll do the same thing over here. There we go. So now we have our mountains. Do you want to see how that's how our mountains are going to look. And then if you wanted to do like a Santa scene or something, you could do like the snow caps that they had in the set, you know? So that's kind of fun. Next, we have our trees, which actually, it looks so cute. And what we can do is we can actually almost follow along that line of the mountains, which I think would be really neat. So let's do that. I'm not so, I'm sitting here. I probably shouldn't do that, but I just don't worry about it too much. I figure I can clean it up later, you know. Anyway, okay, so we're gonna follow along. I'm gonna make sure I've got my center crease lined up really well, and then line these up. If you can see here, let me zoom in a little bit. I'm just I'm just lining this up with the edge, the center, and the back and the front of the mountains. And I'm pressing down. So then we can just give it a nice little push that way, so it's like training the paper is what I like to call it. Okay, see how that is now? Okay, and so now, okay, we got a little bit of excess right there. So we're going to do the same thing with trimming. We just want to trim it a bit, make sure it fits inside. Sorry about my humming. Sometimes humming helps when I'm crafting. You know how it goes. Okay, I'm just trying to get this rounded just a little bit. It's probably a detail I don't need to worry about, but you know how it goes. You get under this thing, you gotta do it this way, and then you do it that way just because that's what you got the thing about. Right? Anyway. Hey, Kathy! Yes. Yeah, did you watch the replay from yesterday? It was fun. You should stop cleaning. Curious why you had to trim certain edges of the brown with scissors after marking the pencil and the other brown edge with a trimmer. Okay, the other brown edge with the trimmer was that it was just this and I wanted a straight cut. So I knew it just was going to be a straight cut. With these sides, I wanted to use scissors because I wanted to round the edges and have a little bit more, make it look a little bit more natural rather than just a straight line, you know? That's why I did that. Okay. Anyway, I gotta finish this other side. Oh, I did that already. Now I gotta trim it. See, if you watch here, I want this to be like a curve, to be like more like mountains, you know? And of course now it's straighter, but yeah, that's essentially what I'm doing. I'm just rounding it, and that's why I'm using scissors. Okay? Got more control with the scissors to make things more organic looking. Okay, so now, that's what we got so far. You close it up, open it up, and you can even do things where, and this is what I want to do eventually, where it opens up and, you know, it's like, it stacks on top of each other and it's a big mountain. So I've seen things like that, and I'm learning, but I'm just not there. Okay, so now I'll leave that there like that so everybody can see it. Now we got to do our ocean, our waves, and I want to do it basically the same way, except I think let's see here. I like that I can kind of test them out to see how they look, you know. Let's see here. I think what I'm going to do is this first one right here. And it doesn't really, I was looking at the, let's see here. Which one am I going to do? I'm actually going to put this one in the front. And I'll put this one in the back. And then this one in the middle. Yeah, I like this. That one there. I made a little boo-boo on the back one. So I'm going to leave that in the back, right? Okay, I think that'll be fine. But what I'm going to do is this one right here, I'm going to trim this down because I don't want it to be that far away from my... So this is like a 1/2 inch right here, right? I'm going to do this so it's at least like a 1/2 inch is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to get out my paper trimmer because I want a straight line. If I can get a... Oh, yeah, I can. And we're just going to stick this in here and take it right back out again because we want to make sure it's all nice and lined up. And this isn't gonna affect the height of the actual wave at all. It just affects where the wave will sit in comparison to that. Can you see what I'm doing here? I'm just gonna test it and see how I feel about it. Let's see here. Oh, I think that'd be okay because I want to put some trees and things maybe. We'll see. Let's look. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay. Because what we can do is we can tuck these underneath this one, right? So like that can be tucked under that like so. Does that make sense? So that's why I wasn't so worried about how thick the bottom is. So anyway, or I can just cut them to the 1/2 inch. Which should I do? Let me see. Because if I don't clip them, I'm not going to be able... Let's see here. Here's what I'm going to... Well, yeah, you know, I'm just going to cut them all down. Sorry, this is part of the process. Figure it out as you go, right? Yeah, I love it when... That's what I love about the dimension is the shadows that it creates. It's so cool. Okay. Yeah, I think this is going to make it easier. I don't know how to explain it, but it actually... They sit there so nice when you have that gap, and it just makes it so much easier to line it all up. Okay, so this is the one that's going in the back. Okay. Okay. And we're gonna fold it over. And can you imagine the surprise on some little kid's face if they opened this up and they were like, Grandma made me a card or something. Well, not that I have grandkids. I don't think that will ever happen for me. But, okay. I like to do that. Yeah, that's really good. See? And then okay, so we're going to do the next one. Let me see here. Yeah, I like this one for the center. It's got the real high wave. The high waves, get it? I'm punny today. I can't even tell you what the deal is with that. But I'm really punny. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. You see, it's hard to show you, but you get the gist if you're looking at it. Okay. Yeah, tucking them was just going to be a little bit... It would be okay if I wasn't having you guys watch me. You know, if you're just having... If it's your own time and you're just putzing around learning things, I can see where I would have probably been playing with that for a little while. But I don't want to... I want your time to be used wisely. Okay, so now I'm going to line this up again with the center. And then kind of fold it in. See how easy it is? Now, is this not the easiest pop-up card? And no fancy dies, because you can like literally do this with a pair of scissors and some glue or tape, whatever, and paper, and you could do this. You know, you don't need to have all the fancy. And watch this. So now it folds down. And then we go, ta-da! And you know, you gotta train it this way. And then there you got it. Isn't that cute? Woo-hoo. So now, and now we can just go ahead and add things to it and have fun with it. Now it's almost like a playscape for kids. You know what I mean? Except we're not kids. We have bigger budgets. We're children with larger budgets, right? Okay. So then I was thinking, what else could I do with this? And there's a couple of different things. I could do, okay, so I have these flamingos right here. And I could, let's turn this over here so you can see it kind of. Can you see that? Oh, you can't see that. You can see that. Okay. So, I think the flamingos are kind of cute, but they're really large, actually. Oh, wait, if you put them down here, they may be too big, but those little trees are pretty nice. But I have some other trees that'll be better. So the other thing I could do is I could create a scene with some mermaids and the narwhal, which I think would be really cute. Clearly we wouldn't do the fish and we could do the seahorse. I could see the seahorse jumping up on the waves. That'd be kind of cute, you know. And I have those other seahorses too. I have some other little seahorses. So that's kind of what I was thinking. What do you like? And then what you can do, see, this is the next thing you could do is you could put like this rock here. You could put that in the center and put several of them actually. Now, it's hard to explain, but so now that we have an angle within this card, we can add to those angles to create other pop-up elements, okay? As an example, let me show you, I'll just demonstrate to you. Let me see if I got some cutout mermaids. I don't. Let me see here. You know what? We're just going to... Oh, that'd be cute. Wait a minute. I got a rainbow. I could put a rainbow somewhere, too. That'd be cute. Stay colorful. Okay. Let me just show you this little example. I need a little strip. Let me find a little strip. Or make a little strip. Okay. That's my trick so you don't have to wait so long. Okay, so let's get a little strip of the paper. And we're going to make a square. So we need a scoreboard. Let's get the small scoreboard. And did I do it right? And then we're going to cut it at 2.5 inches. Remember the other day when we made the square that was was a 1/2 inch square? It's kind of what we're doing now. Now, I have to admit, I'm pretty sure this will work, but I'm not 100%. So don't be mad if it doesn't. But you know, the only way you learn is by trying, right? So I just scored it at a half an inch, 1 inch, 1.5 inches, and 2 inches. And it's a 2.5 inch strip. And now I can make it into this little square. Let me put some tape at one end. If you were here the other day and you saw the balloon card, I couldn't think of the word. You remember this. So then we'll put that there. Okay, so now we have a little square that folds flat, right? So what we're going to do is we could put this here. And you know what we'd probably do is we'd probably use this blue paper typically, and I'll probably take this out. If I decide to use one of these, I'll probably take it out and put some of the blue paper. Okay, so then you adhere it here and here and push it down, right? Oh, I did it wrong. Okay, sorry. So you adhere it on the bottom and then up onto the wave like so, right? Then what you'll see is it should be that when you fold it, it folds. I can't pick it up. Let's take a peek inside the card. See the little square? It folded. So if I put something on that square, like a little bunny, as an example, why not? For demonstration purposes. Did I not put any glue? I didn't put any glue on the bunny. Not where I wanted to. Okay, so we're going to put the bunny there, right? Now, if we close it up, if you watch, well, the bunny just folds up inside of the card. Then you open up the card, and as it opens up, there's a bunny. So you can do that all the way along there. You could do it in here. You could put things in here. Anywhere you want, you could put something that way. So we'll set Bunny across here for a little bit. So that's what I'm thinking about when I'm creating this scene. I'm thinking about, okay, well, what do I want to put on it? See how nicely it's sitting too? It sits up real beautifully, you know? So I can add things around here, and you could add if you wanted to do let's say you wanted something that was out here popped up, right? You could add a small box that's that long, right? That's, it's a rectangle instead of a square, right? And you could put it out there. So it would be like a 1/2 inch tall and 3 inches long or something like that. So, hi Denise. How are you today? Let's see. So, that said, whew, I'm trying to think here. Where do we want to take this? We're going to take this on a journey of mermaids. We're going to make it a mermaid scene. Does that sound fun? So, let's see here. We have to have a narwhal. It's one of my favorite animals, only because of the movie Elf. Just saying. We need some rocks. See, the rocks I think would be cute. Like if you set the rocks, you could put the rocks behind, or I've done that before, actually. And we need to have the little seahorse because it's so cute, and you can't see it now, but you will. And then, we'll worry about the scepter and everything later. Okay, so let's get these in a misty. How long have we been gone here? Let me look at the time. Okay. I try to stick to it like an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes, because I feel like you'll get bored of me after that amount of time. Okay. Let's see here. Hi, Mr. Narwhal. Okay. Wait a minute. I want to make sure I have enough space to be able to make a couple of rocks. You know? Okay. And I'm going to just use... I'm going to use the dark brown ink that I used yesterday, the Espresso. Or do I want to use Memento? Actually, you know, I think I'm going to use Memento because I'm going to... Let's see if I got the brown here. Yes, the rich cocoa, because I'm going to be Copic coloring these guys. Okay. Don't you love when you... I haven't used this brown in a long time, and it just works. Just nice. Okay. Oop. Oh, that was a pretty good image, actually. Let's try it once more. Perfect. And then I want to move this over to here. Just gonna ink up that rock. That would have been bad if I would have gotten ink all over this. Maybe I should move that out of the way. That might be a good idea. Perfect. Okay. Let's move this out of the way before we get ink all over it. Okay. I think I need a little bit more on her. Oh. I'm determined to make a mess, I think. Please let these be lined up right. There, that's better. Okay. I thought I kept seeing... Must be on the bottom here. Oh, there's me in the there's the camera. I was like, what's that mark on there? Anyway, okay. So now we need to color them. What color is the seahorse? Is it orange? Yeah, aren't they cute? It's called Mermaid for You. It is my favorite mermaid set. Okay. Let's get some colors here, I think. Okay. Is a seahorse orange? I think a seahorse is like yellowish orange. Let me think. Let's do... Okay. Sorry, thinking about colors here. Okay, let's start with Mr. Narwhal here. It's funny, this is Memento Rich Cocoa, and that's supposed to be a Copic friendly ink, but I got like some marks there. That's weird. I think I'll be able to take care of it with the darker shade. So first I'm just putting this W1 over the whole image, and then I'm going to work on some shading, which I think will be, actually the brown is kind of cool, because I mean, I don't know, narwhals aren't exactly evenly colored, as it were, so it adds a little bit of something to it, something natural and organic, you know. So I've never seen a narwhal. Where did oh wait, I think I watched some of these travel videos, and there were these people who were in Antarctica and they saw a narwhal. And they're not this cute. I'm just saying. Oh, good. Thank you, Shelley. Thank you, Denise. Thank you, everybody. Okay. Then I've seen them that they have kind of like spots on their backs, you know, a bit. So I'll just put some spots on, give it a little bit of character there. There we go. And then we'll take our lightest color and just go over and blend that a bit. Blend that all together. And then I think what I want to do I want to add silver for the tusk. Okay. So that was W3 was my darker color, and W1 was my lighter color. And when I went to add the dots in, I used a W6. Nope. I was going to do more. Actually, maybe what I'll do, sorry, a little bit of white dots. I'm feeling a few white dots. Let's see if we can get this pen to work. Yeah, because they have like the scaly kind of skin. This is such a fun card with the grandkids. It's like, yeah, it's a perfect card. These pop-up cards, and I really feel it really extends their imagination, especially if you do something like this where you make a scene and just say, okay, kids, fill in the scene. And this is an island, but you could do a forest. You could do, I've done like an Arctic scene with sleds and canoes and like little kayaks and things. So yeah, I wish I could, I have all these cards. I wish I could just pull them out and show you. Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you so much, Adasa. See, I was talking to the lady where I had the interview today, and I was like, well, if it's not busy, I would just pull out my toys and play with the play with the residents, and she thought that sounded pretty cool. you know. Yay. Hi everybody. A special hello from Joanne. Not Penny. Penny's, what's she doing? Oh, she's passed out again. This is her nap time. Okay, that's so exciting. I love that. Now that my silver has dried, I'm just putting back those lines. I'm just using a black pen because it doesn't really matter. It's just a little detail, So there's our little narwhal. He's cute enough. Okay, now let's do, somewhere, let me think about this. Somewhere I have my cheat sheet for what colors I do for hair. Let me just give it a little look-see here. Where is that? Nope. It's not there. Let me see here. We need an Ariel. I think everyone... Hello, Andre. How are you? Let's see here. Skin. We need skin color. This is where you break out your phone sometimes. And you gotta find your... Gotta find your colors. Let's see. So what you can do, let me show you how to do it. I just go on here and I'll Google Copic hair color, not bear, hair color formulas, for example. And then you just go to images. And see, now there's a whole bunch of images with Copic coloring of hair so that you can, like, this one's really good. Where is it? Where is it? There was one. I saw it when it was really small. Let's see here. Is this right? Yeah, see, look at this one. This one has all these colors of hair. And if you look, it has all the colors you need for each of those. Oh, that's okay if you enjoy it more. That's better, isn't it? Okay, so let's go. We're going to go Arial, red auburn. So we need E19, 1819, E08, and E09. And then I can kind of, because I took a certification course. So I know how to use the colors once I figured out which ones I need. E08, E9, E18, and 19. See, these are actually kind of interesting colors. They're really similar. Let's see. I'm going to try and zoom in a little bit for the coloring. Tell me if I go... Oh, well. That's pretty good. Let me make... Here's what I'm going to do so that I stay in a space where you can see what I'm doing. This is a little hint. I'm going to put tape at the top of the paper so I know where it should be for you to be able to see. There. There. Okay. So we're going to start with her and do some auburn hair. So we'll start with the lightest color and just color it all in the lightest color. Not so light, huh? Okay. Okay, then we're going to take our darkest color, which is going to be the E8. Ooh, that's funny. It's like they're opposite. So this is the E9 and the E19. It's so blurry. You can kind of see. Sorry, it's not zooming. And then this is the E08. It's funny how the difference is. Okay, so we're just going to take one of these darker colors. And it is dry as a bone. I hate that when that happens. Another one bites the dust. I got to get that one filled up. Okay, let's hope some of these have ink in them. Okay, so now we're getting the second darkest color. And I'm just flicking up towards from the bottom to the middle. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it around. Yep, okay. And I'm going to do the same thing, but from the other side. And the idea is I want to join up in the middle, and there will be another medium color. Yeah. And then we'll just take that, the 19. And then I'm going to do something, I'm going to go tip to tip. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this light color with the dark to blend it. So it's got a little bit of the dark on it to begin with, but then I can fill it up with the light color when the dark is gone. Does that make sense? And then I'm going to go a little bit, I'm going to go to this E07 and just add some in to it. And then, let's see here. And I think he's good enough. What do you think? It's got a little dimension to it. I might put a little bit more on the outside. Okay, now, let's see here. What say we? Okay, so this is how it happens. You get all these colors, and then before you know it, you got tons of colors on. Okay, next I'm going to do a blonde. Let's see here. Oop. Y21, Y23. We're going to do this blonde here. Oh, let me show you real quick. That's the blonde right there. 21, 23, YR21. And then YR21. And don't have 24. What do you gotta do? YR24. Oh, hi, Katie. Welcome back. Okay, we are coloring mermaids. Okay. We're going to make this guy blonde. Let's start with the lightest color. I always start with the lightest color and I fill it in. And what that kind of does for me is it fills in and it gets the paper ready to accept ink, you know? And then it'll be easier to blend it and everything. It'll get a nicer blend. Then I'm going to get this darker color. And basically, I'm going to work it in from both sides. I want to kind of give it some dimension and make it look a little bit round. And so that's why I do that. You know? And I'll go about 2/3 of the way in. Wait a minute, this is the... Okay, so this is the... So this one I'll go about 1/3 of the way in. And then I'll take this next color and I'll go 2/3 of the way. 2/3 of the way in. Oh my goodness, was I off camera? I bet I was off camera. And then I'll get that lightest shade again. Okay, and there we have the little boys here all colored up. Let's see here. Oh, my art. But you got to get the right caps on. This is important. Okay, so we got that one. Then, let's see here. What color should we do next? We'll do... I think we'll do this one. We're going to do a strawberry blonde. E31, 34, and 55. E31, which I don't have. I don't think. Let's look. Nope. There's E34. We have E30, so we'll just work with it, right? And E55 is here. Okay. Same thing. Sorry, I know it's kind of... try to avoid having to do this too much because I can't imagine it's very interesting to watch me color. I'm not an expert. I actually... What's funny is I'm certified, but I don't get to practice very much. So, oh, in another life, right? If I could just sit there and color all day. Okay. Just gonna put this darkest color over in this corner here. Sorry. I know, I get quiet sometimes when I'm focused. Okay, do that. Wait a minute. Oh, I did it wrong again. I'm gonna do, let's see here. just kind of do whatever feels right in the moment, you know? See how she looks. She looks just fine. So then we just have to color their clothes. Let's do one in pink. Well, let's see. We got pink. Let's see here. Oh, another one bites the dust. Oh, that's no fun. I'm not really very good at filling up my Copic markers. It's a mess when I do. Okay, and I'm not going to worry too much about I'm not going to worry about shading this. I worry more about hair because, I don't know, I just feel like it has to have some kind of movement with the coloring. Not so worried about scales in this instance. Oh boy. Okay. Notice how I always check it. I always want to make sure that it's working first. Before I put it on my image. Can you see what I'm sorry. Goodness. Oh, you guys. I'm sorry about going off the paper. I'm so sorry. I tried to zoom in so you could see better. And then it's like, my area of being able to work shrinks. And because I looked up the colors on the phone, I can't see my phone anymore, which is how I was seeing that I was in scope, you know. Okay. Let's see, what's the dude gonna be in? Let's make him green. I don't know why, I just feel like green. Put him away later. Right? Now, we need to do skin. Skin's a tough one, but I think if we just use, this is E000, and it should be fine. Good, you can see. Just doing some quick coloring here, you know. We could do some more in-depth like shading and everything, but then we would, you know, have to take more time to make the card, and we don't have to take that much time. Oop. Now, you can do the same thing for skin tones, or for anything else you want to color for that matter. Just Google it and put Copic marker, and you should be able to get color combinations. I'm going to just go over it one more to make it a little bit darker. They're easy to color, see? You don't have to do anything too fancy. I just kind of have fun with the hair, I guess. Maybe I'm living vicariously because I can't get my hair colored. That could be it. Okay, so there we got our little mermaids. Now we have to do, I was going to do this little cute seahorse. make it that color, and then have this color for the cute little mane, or whatever you call it. What do you call it? It's just a mane, I guess. This looks better in paper than it does on the computer, I'm just saying. Then we have to color our rocks. Let's do, we're going to use our, whatever these are. What are they? These are the different, I can't remember what they're, there's 3 different kinds of grays. These are the tonal grays. That's what it is. So I got W3. And I'm just going to fill in. Let's see here. Yeah, you got it. I don't need that anymore, do I? Okay. It's relaxing when you don't have to do it. Okay, the ink I used was Memento Rich Cocoa. And I don't know why, but it ran a little bit into my narwhal before. It seems fine now. I don't know if I just didn't leave it enough time to dry, which there shouldn't need to be any drying time at all. But anyway, but you know, Memento Tuxedo Black is the typical one. And this paper, I don't even, can't think of what it is right now. It's a Hammermill 100-pound digital cover, I think is what it is. Nothing fancy. I swear they're like playing drums next door. Oh, okay. So yeah, toner grays. That's what this is. This is the toner grays. Now I'm going to go for a darker shade, T5, which is a couple up from T3, clearly. And the rocks, I like to be able to just, I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to make it look roundish by going from either side like this. You gotta flick. This flicking technique, I believe, is like one of the most important techniques you can use to Copic color with, because you just need to be able to have a light hand, you know, not too heavy, and just flick it, because then it blends together nicer in the middle. See how it's sort of starting to look round? And then I'm going to get a bit darker for the very edges. Okay, and I'm going to go straight to the W or the T5 again, because I want to blend it right away so that it doesn't have a chance to dry, you know. And then I'll go to the T3 again, real quick. And I'm going to do that with all 4 sides. And then just bleed that into the middle. Does that make sense? So then see how it blends together so nice? And then I'm going to go around and I'm going to do the same thing. Ah, almost dropped it. Again, go to the T5 and I should just leave the caps off. T5 3. And then you have a nicely rounded rock. I think you'll agree. Let's see. I might do a little bit of the darker color over here to round this other little tiny rock, you know. And then, okay. Yeah, that makes me happy. Does it make you happy? Oh, for watercoloring though, I must. This is my favorite. It's the, this one right here. For the, the real brush markers. Love that stuff. I'm like, unfortunately, I feel like I'm a little bit of a perfectionist when it comes to the watercoloring kind of stuff. I get really upset when the water starts melting the paper away. Okay. Oh, you couldn't see what I was doing, but you know what, you get it. And then we use our lighter color again. And remember, we don't want the rocks to be the same because they're rocks. They aren't all the same. I love coloring nature because it doesn't have to be exact by any stretch of the imagination. You know, it just has to be, just has to look good, fun. Okay, so then we have our rocks all colored. Okay, let me put my markers to get the lids on the markers real quick because we all know now why I don't have why I have so many that are drying up. Because I don't necessarily get the lids back on right away. See, this is the thing though. This is all the colors I use to color all of that. That's where it goes crazy, isn't it? Okay. I gotta have to do something with these because they're taking up a lot of room. Oh, I can't wait till I can have my regular chair back. Okay, so I'm gonna try it. Hi. Hello again. Okay, let's get our dies out. Oh no, that's the flamingos. Where are the dies? Oh. One moment while I look for my dies. Oh, darn it. You guys are used to me doing this already, aren't you? Here we go. Here's my dies. Whew. Let's scissors. Thank you. I think they're pretty cute. Hopefully they'll look good in the scene, right? Otherwise I might create a scene. Sorry. That joke's getting old, isn't it? Okay. Now, let's get some tape. Let's see here. My son just came out and he feels better about something. Okay, let's see here. That looks pretty good. After all that coloring, you want to make sure they line up right. Yay. Oh, he had something with the class and the teacher wasn't clear. This whole online college class thing is last minute, but he's actually liking it better than regular college. Which now we're like, he's got 2 classes left. We're like, oh, if only we would have known. It had been done a year earlier. Oh well. I'm really glad he gets to be home for a little bit longer. So that's fun. Okay. What do we have? Oh boy. I'm sorry. I'm just kind of going along, relaxing, putting my dyes on. I'd rather take the time, after you, this is the thing, after you've colored them, you don't want to mess them up when you cut them out, right? I tell you what, I didn't sleep very well because I was very excited about the job interview. So hopefully I'll sleep better tonight. Oh, this one's a little harder to line up. What's funny is I'll probably end up cutting away I should probably just fussy cut them out anyway, but it'll be, if they work out, then we'll be happy. If not, we'll just fussy cut. It's not a biggie. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, let's just... Okay. I didn't do any crowns or scepters. I figured I could do that later if I want to. Now there are other ways to do this that where you can create like a little jig to put over it to line up the dies, and that works pretty well. But for this circumstance, I'm just like, it's not that big a deal, and it'd just take us a little bit longer. So why, right? Okay. I must be missing a mermaid. Oh, there's a whole other mermaid I forgot. Oh well. That's funny. I was like, I thought I did all the mermaids. And I kind of like that hair the best. It's like flowing up in the stratosphere. Okay, let's see here now. Little seahorse. Let me look at this, make sure that it's right. Yeah. Okay. Let's load these up. Now tell me, would you rather I color them? Yeah, right. Probably, Carol. Okay. Oh, anyway, so you guys don't mind watching the coloring? Tell me what you think. Oh, look, I lined them up right. Yay. I gotta do another one of those. Yay. There we go. Now, I can kind of show you. Oh, I understand completely. See you tomorrow. Thank you, Carol. Have a good night. Okay, so what you do, see how you die cut one, and then you use that die cut negative space, or I don't remember, whichever space it is, either negative or positive, and you hold it over the image, like so, and you make sure that it has equal parts white all the way around, and then you put this over. See, that doesn't look right. Anyway, this is how it's supposed to work, but I can't remember. Let me see here now. So you put this over here, and you line it up like so. And then you work the piece of the die until it fits into the holes again. And then you're supposed to attach the front and the back together, but we're not doing that since that's just generally how it goes. I'll show you another day. If you want me to, I'll just do a tips and tricks or a Q&A. That's what I could do. I could do a Q&A tips and tricks. So you guys can ask me questions that you want, like problems you want to solve, and I can answer them for you. Oh, that's good. I'm glad you learned that. The flick technique is so important. It's how you get that, blend that's so beautiful is by flicking. Okay, so there we got that. Sorry about the noise. Oh, good. I'm glad it has inspired you to get your markers. Your markers should be out. Your markers should be out. Oh, your markers should be out. Okay, so now we got all our little guys all cut. I'll put this over here. I can fix that later. And then we'll put the phone over here. And we have our little scene. And so let's see here. Now, as I was saying before, we can do different things with these pieces, right? So, as an example, I like Mr. Narwhal, like coming up out of the wave, like so. So, to do that, clearly I just have to put a little bit of adhesive on his tail. Actually, you know what? And you put them up like that, see? You could cut the tail off separately, and then, actually I'm going to do that. So then you get you get a twofer, right? So you cut the tail off at a place that would be advantageous to cut it off. Then you put your narwhal here, because you can't see the tail, right? And you could even, oh wait, here's another thing you could do. Look at this. You could cut his fin like this. And then, oh no, right here. And then kind of fit it in over the fin. Let me show you. I'll show you when I've got it positioned right. There. How cute is that? So he's got his little fin out. And then you just take the tail, and I'll take the adhesive off the tail because I just glued it all up. One thing you don't want with this is you don't want extra adhesive because you don't want the wrong things to stick together. That's really sticky. Okay, I'm going to do some powder to unsticky it. That smells so good. And then we can just do this, and I'm just going to use a little bit of liquid glue on this part. And it's been sitting here open. Let me see if I can. I wish it wasn't so far over so you can't see it. Maybe anyone chiming in, if they see this, they'll be like intrigued. Right? Okay, so I'm just gonna put some glue. I think it should be. Where's my pen? Oh boy. See, this is where I get hard on myself and I shouldn't do it. That's what the issue is. Well, we'll get our Lawn Fawn glue. Hopefully that'll work. Okay, so we got our, there, that worked. Okay, and so then we'll just put this like over here. And we'll hold it on there for a second. See? So now you got one that's diving and one that's got its head poked out. Okay. Now it's a little sticky in the back. Talc powder. Get it on my fingers. Rub it back there. And it should be fine. Ooh. Now there's talc powder in the mountains. Okay. So then let's test it. Fold it up. Open it up. And there we go. Pretty good, huh? So far, so good. Okay, I want to zoom out just a little bit more so that you can see more what I'm doing. Okay. Then, next, we want to put, well, we could do, remember before I told you that you didn't have to do it right on the center? Let me show you what I mean by that. First, I need to get a little bit more blue paper. We can just use, I think this is good enough. No. Did we cut a piece of? Okay, I'm just going to cut a little bit of piece of paper here. Bear with me for a second. Okay. I just want to have a strip that we can work with. Okay, so what we're going to do first, you know, I'm going to get some blue. I'm going to get a really light blue and just color it in the space around the rock right here so it blends more with the water. It's not so white. Just to save time, it's just a little easier and less worry-free, or less worry. That's what I meant to say. More worry-free. That's what I meant to say. Okay, so this will be your mind blown, right? So what you can do, we'll cut a little strip, and we're going to do that thing where we fold it in half. And I'm not going to fold it in the middle this time. This time I'm just going to fold it like over here, for example. Right? And you could do this with acetate as well, because if you did it with acetate, you wouldn't be able to see any of it. It'd be clear. You'd kind of see a shiny thing, but that's it. Okay. And now we have a little jig that we can put on here that works with anything that you want to glue on it, you know? So we can just put this rock on here, for example. Now we're going to want to make sure the rock doesn't go over the center, because then it would bend, right? If we wanted to do it in the center, we could put it there. But, or actually, you know what? We could put it anywhere and we could just bend it. And it doesn't have to be in the middle centered, is what I'm trying to say. So then, what we're going to do is we're going to, this is kind of an experiment, I must say, to some extent. We're going to adhere this onto there. So I'm just going to put the glue on here because it's tall. It's not as tall. This is taller. That's why. And then I'm going to position it on here and push it down. And then I'm going to trim around where it is, where the rock is. I'm going to keep this piece there because I may want to put something else over on the other side, and I'm going to just trim up on here. And if you've seen my swan soiree, I did something similar. So then I'm going to put this down here like so, just to make sure. And I'm going to put some adhesive. I just wanted to get an idea of where I wanted to place it. All right. And I'm going to put that there. And I believe, I'm just not sure. Let me look. I should be able to fold this piece down or cut it away, and it should still work. But let me look. Yeah, see, these work independently of each other, as it were. So you don't necessarily have to have this part here to be able to fold it up. Then when you want it, when you're opening it, to make it open all the way, you kind of have to pull it over and then it stands up, you know? So you can't just open it like this because then it's down. But if you open it over, then it stands up. Does that make sense? So, and this doesn't pop up quite as well, let me think here, as I would have hoped. But you know, you just position it or whatever. Anyway, so then we have to put her, let's put her sitting up here. And I think I can just cut this piece away. Okay, let me see. And I'm going to put, where is it? I'm going to put the blue around her too. And it just kind of blends in, you know? Okay. And then getting a mess. Put some tape on her. Get the tape off the front. And then we'll sit her up on top of the rock. Make sure that it's not sticky in the back, which is what I'm doing right now. Okay, so now see, this doesn't work as well as I'd hoped. So what I'm going to do, this is the other thing I could do, is I can create a little jig between the two by cutting another strip. Remember our box from before? So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna just, and I didn't measure, it's just I cut a piece of paper that I knew would measure between here and here, and I'm going to put it on the back of her, and I'm going to line it up at the very base of her, or the rock, that is, not her, but the rock. Now it's a her. Go figure. And then I'm going to measure how far I want it to, how far it is from here to the wave. And I'm going to make a little line with my pencil. A very little line with my pencil. Then I'm going to bend it. And see, this is like clearly not an exact science. Okay. I've never made this part either. That's the funny part, right? And then I'm gonna, I just love to play, you know, and when I was a little kid, this was what I loved to do. I would have boxes, and I would make little storefronts out of the boxes. So this is like not new. This is like something I've always loved to play with paper. I think paper's the coolest thing ever. Okay, so now we're going to attach it onto the wave. Like so. Get some tweezers. Hold it there for a second. So hopefully this will work to stand it up, you know. So now, let's see here. We're going to close it up and then open it up. And we do the, well, she didn't stick all the way. Let's see here. Oop. You know what we need to do? We need to close it up and we need to push. Make sure she's all stuck. Bye, Denise. See you later. I'm sorry I'm taking so long. I'm in a groove here now. Oh, now I need to put some more tape. I need to put some more glue there. Clearly. I'm putting just some more. Oh, it's a little watery. I wonder if that's why. Sometimes you can put too much glue. You know what I mean? It's like, has that ever happened to you? Okay, let me just hold it down for a second here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just finish a few more of these pieces, and then I'm going to go away and we'll revisit it in the morning. And oh, you have to, especially with the kids, because this is so fun for the kids, you know? Okay. It got too wet. See, I put too much glue. So then we need to fix that. We will. You know we will. Maybe that's a sign that we should leave it until tomorrow. Yeah, because I got glue here. Okay, I think we should wrap up for today. Now I got to find a bird to cover that. Okay, so let's leave it here. 021070. What's 021070? Is that your zip code? I'll show you tomorrow how this is actually going to, we'll fix that. Because I did put too much glue, and so now it's all, it's not drying because I put too much glue. As I said before, you can put too much glue and then it's kind of a pain. So it really needs some drying time. So I'll let that finish, And then I'll meet you guys back here tomorrow afternoon. Let me think here. I've got an appointment in the morning. Yeah, I should be fine to be here at 2 again. And we'll just take it from there. Does that sound good? Oh, you're cleaning your... That's funny. Oh, anyway, so you can see how she's going to work. Once she dries up, she'll be fine. But yeah, that's what we got so far. And then I have the night to think, because I have something else I want to put there, but I have to just, you know, kind of think through it and everything. So anyway, I know you trust me. So thanks a lot. I hope you had fun today. I hope you're all happy and healthy. I can't thank you enough for spending the time with me. I really do appreciate it. And don't forget to comment on the video don't forget all the videos, because remember, May 1st we're having the drawing. If you don't know what the drawing is for, it's right, is this the clean one? Yeah, it's for this stamp set. And yeah, isn't it cute? It's so adorable. She's cute. Once she dries up, it'll be fine. It just, right now, it got to the point where it was a little bit delicate, and then I have to find something to cover that up. Probably another row of mountains. Anyway, okay, we'll see you soon. Thank you so much again. Have a great night, everybody. Oh my God, that was funny. I thought, thanks for the demons. Thanks, Hadassah. I appreciate it. And tell the ladies to have a good night at the nursing home.